Good evening, viewers. Welcome to this session. We have a lot of news we'd like to share with you, and we'll start with the first piece of news. So let me start the image. Yeah. So nearly 6 years after the anti-Hindu riots in Delhi, the court has convicted 5 people, including former Aam Aadmi Party councillor Tahir Hussain, in the murder case of IB officer Ankit Sharma. Following the verdict, Op India once again reached in front of Tahir Hussein's multi-story building. Now, this is what Op India has said about reaching his house, Tahir Hussein's house, from where the rioters had not only selectively targeted Hindus, but had also dragged IB officer Ankit Sharma into the house and stabbed him to death. After this, Ankit Sharma's body was thrown into a nearby drain. Nearly 6 years after the incident, when the team visited Chand Bagh, the same area affected by the anti-Hindu riots in Delhi, where Tahir Hussain, convicted of killing Ankit Sharma, lives, they found that 60-foot road was bustling with traffic as usual, and the market was fully open. Drain construction was underway on both sides of the road. On 13th of July, the court recently found Tahir Hussain and 4 others guilty in the murder case, while acquitting 6 of the accused, 12 accused. So the sentencing is yet to be announced. So now, the Op India report says that they had visited Tahir Hussein's 4-story building, the roof of which hundreds of Muslim rioters had climbed to target Hindus. 2 signboards bearing the name "Show Effect" advertising work were visible on the large iron gate outside the building. Upon inquiry, they learned that the building houses several small factories and is also home to numerous tenants. After entering the gate, they attempted to ascend the roof. The police administration collected false evidence to trap Tahir. The present government is targeting him. Even Arvind Kejriwal did not support him and instead allowed him to be framed, is what his father further alleged, that the materials recovered from the building had been planted. Bricks, stones, catapults and bombs were all placed here as part of a conspiracy to frame him. There was nothing here. The crowd forcibly entered the house and climbed onto the roof. Now, when the Op India group went there, they spoke to a man named Munna who was coming downstairs from the terrace with his wife. He identified himself as Tahir Hussein's uncle. And they said that our Tahir is innocent. Allah knows everything. He's being trapped. He has never even slapped anyone in his life, he said. Munna's wife echoed his remarks and became emotional while speaking about the court's decision. He has never even killed a mouse. We have raised him since childhood. He has always helped poor girls get married. The police administration collected false evidence to trap Tahir. The present government is targeting him. Even Arvind Kejriwal did not support him and instead allowed him to be framed. Bricks, stones, catapults and bombs were placed here. So now, see, this is what, the Tahir Hussein's relatives have, put the blame on. And they said that the government is against. But I want to also tell you about what happened, actually on that day when Ankit Sharma was, kidnapped and murdered. So let me just go on to that. Yeah, so just one second, hold on. So let me just go on to that news where the father, Ankit's father, says what really happened. Now, Ravindra Sharma, the father of the IB official Ankit Sharma, who was killed during the anti-Hindu riots in Delhi's Khajuri Khas on February 26th, has revealed the gory details of the heinous crime in the FIR registered at Dayalpur police station, pinning the blame on AAP councillor Tahir Hussain and his men for the death of his son. And Kumar alleged that his son's body was thrown from a mosque into the drain. Now, all of us were following that story very, very closely, and we all know what kind of people these, the AAP party has been harboring. And the worst of this lot is this Tahir Hussain. Now, calling for a criminal probe into the matter, the father, Ravindra Sharma, who is a head constable in the Intelligence Bureau, divulged that Tahir Hussain had assembled goons at his residence who were firing guns and throwing petrol bombs from the rooftop, which led to tension and fear among the residents. Now, according to the FIR, Ankit Sharma had gone missing along with his two friends on Tuesday, soon after he returned from work around 4:30 p.m. The deceased saw some chaos outside and stepped out to see what was happening. His two friends had accompanied him. On 25th February, my son Ankit left the house to buy some goods and provisions. When he didn't return back, we started searching for him. We first went to nearby police stations at Kajuri Khas, Dalpur, and later inquired about him in nearby hospitals. After searching for him through the night, we filed a missing complaint with the police on 26 February. After talking to the neighbors, the father of the deceased found that Ankit, along with local identified as Kallu and others, had gone out. When I inquired about Kallu, I was told that someone was attacked and murdered, after which the body was thrown in the drain near Chandbagh. The cops called divers who found the body of Ankit. He was only wearing his innerwear, and there were deep slashes and cuts on his face, chest, back, which could have been the result of sharp-edged weapons. His face was burned, indicating that acid was used. Meanwhile, Ankit's brother Ankur Sharma had alleged that Tahir Hussein's men had caught Ankit and his two friends and taken them away. Ankit Sharma's brother had also maintained in his various conversations with the media that his brother was murdered by Tahir Hussain and a Muslim mob that was working under his command. Now, the Op India media also said that Ankit's brother Ankur divulged a chilling sequence of the events that led to the brutal murder of his brother. He said that the Muslim mob had dragged Ankit to Tahir Hussein's house, the AAP operator. While Ankit was being dragged inside by the Muslim mob from the four-story building belonging to Tahir Hussain, stones started raining down on everyone below. In fact, it was not just stones that rained down. Ankur says that along with stones, petrol bombs and even gunshots were being rained down by the Islamists from inside Tahir Hussein's building. Now, according to Ankur, this was being done so that nobody could attempt to rescue Ankit. As soon as Ankit started being dragged inside the house, Hindus ran to rescue Ankit. However, they were fended off by the rain of stones, petrol bombs and bullets. उन्होंने रतनलाल को भी मारा, डीसीपी को जख्मी किया. ये लोग पुलिस के लोगों को मार रहे हैं. अंकित ने अपने आप को आईबी ऑफिशियल बताया, इसलिए मारा गया. It was Tahir Hussain who killed him, Ankur said. He is the head of the riots here. He is conducting the riots. He was directing the Muslims who had dragged him inside the house. Arvind Kejriwal will paint my brother as a rioter. He was not a rioter. He was a government official who had gone there to convince people to stop fighting. He knew people from both sides. He is a Shaheen, Ankur said. So now what they've asked is to, this sort of judgment that has come is good, but it has come late. So if you look at, Ankit Sharma's forensic reports, he was stabbed over 400 times for 4 to 6 hours. He had stab wounds all over his body and not even a single portion of it was spared. He was stabbed for hours, 4 to 6 hours, by possibly as many as 6 individuals together. Moreover, his intestines were ripped apart, says the autopsy report. Forensic doctors have reportedly said they haven't seen such a nightmarish mutilation in their lives. The report says the body had multiple abrasions deep cut by sharp-edged objects. The panel of doctors who carried out the postmortem has clearly stated that Ankit Sharma was brutally and repeatedly stabbed, which had caused his death. So friends, you can see that, this was the most gruesome murder that has happened, in the past few years. And no one is more responsible than Tahir Hussain and the party that has supported him, which is AAP. So now, even though the thing has come out late, we are glad it has come out, because there is no one who deserves a bigger punishment than Tahir Hussain. But I would have also suggested that it should have been capital punishment, because this man has done something so cruel. In fact, at that time, there were also allegedly reports that a girl was gang raped and killed and burnt also inside that house. But now, very, very cunningly, these people have hidden this alleged crime. And even if you ask any, you inquire about all the earlier reports, all have been hidden. So this man is being supported. And that is what's happening in today's world. Welcome, welcome Leena, and welcome Tanushree. Always nice to see you. And I remember very clearly reading all the reports about how a young girl was also murdered, gang raped and murdered, allegedly. And now they are saying nothing of this sort has happened. Even if you ask, go to chat GPT and ask also, they'll not tell you, because everybody is being very, very diplomatic and hiding the crimes that this Tahir Hussain has done. So, welcome Dhanashree. CJP is up. Yes. Even Sonam, Vagadu, hunger strike seems to be doubtful. In fact, I'm just going on to that, Dhanashree. So, so there is no one who deserves this more than Tahir Hussain. And the funny thing is that they say that he was crying. What crocodile tears has come from this man? A very, very able officer, who was stabbed so many times, 600 to 700 times. His hands were tied so that even if he is, if there's a little life to him and he is put in the drain, he cannot escape. If this man was not given capital punishment, I am surprised. Okay, so this is something very, very, even though it has come late, at least this man has been sentenced. But I don't know who are the other people who have been let go. Now, let's move on to the next piece of news. So, we're talking about Cockroach Janata Party, and also, yeah. So, now a 4-year-old social post by Abhijit Dipke, founder of the Cockroach Janata Party, has gone viral, in which he appears to be critical of the leader of opposition, LOP, in the Lok Sabha, and Congress MP Rahul Gandhi's mega Bharat Jodo Yatra in 2022. Now, the post has gone viral at a time when opposition leaders are lining up to support the CJP protest at Jantar Mantar in New Delhi, as well as activist Sonam Wangchuk's hunger strike, which entered his 19th day on Thursday. It also comes after the CJP itself said it had contacted leaders across party lines, including Rahul Gandhi, and invited them to Jantar Mantar to show support for the protesting students. Dipke's old post on Rahul Gandhi goes viral. Now, his post on X dated September 8th, 2022 has gone viral on the social media platform. He has responded to a journalist's post about Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra and described the march as a travel vlog. And you remember the Bharat Jodo Yatra was a mega march organized by the Congress party and led by Rahul Gandhi. It covered more than 3,500 kilometers across 12 states and 2 union territories. Now, so let's just go on to So now moving on to this news. So Dhanashree also says even Sonam Wangchuk hunger strike seems to be doubtful. Now, so moving on to who is Sonam Wangchuk is the question. Sonam Wangchuk is the son of a prominent Ladakhi Congress leader. Wangyal served as an MLA from Leh around 1972 and later went on to become a minister in the Jammu and Kashmir government in 1975. His family moved to Srinagar during this period. Wangchuk appears to have taken inspiration from his father for doing hunger strikes. In 1984, Wangyal went on hunger strike to demand ST status for Ladakh. Later in 1987, Wangyal was expelled from Congress over alleged anti-party activities. Thus, contrary to the viral grassroots hero with a humble beginning, narratives around Sonam Wangchuk are misleading. He hails from a financially sound and politically powerful family. So, this is something that it should be revealed to each and everyone who thinks of him as a hero. Yes, Dhanashree, Tahir Hussain was an AAP worker, and we all know what kind of party AAP is. So moving on to what is surprising about Wangchuk is that He seems to be taking a fast, but he also seems to be perfectly hale and hearty, the way he walks around. And then you have people like the film stars. We have Zeenat Aman, Nasiruddin Shah, Patak Shah, Shabana Azmi, Abhay Deol, Omi Vaidya, and then Swara Bhaskar, Atul Kulkarni, Soni Razdan, that is Alia's mother, Shreya Dhanvantari, Anurag Kashyap, and of course, none other than Prakash Raj supporting this Wangchuk. Now, one thing is very clear that whatever this Wangchuk is, talking about himself, about the patents and everything, people know very well that he has not earned any patents, and whatever the common man knows about Wangchuk is all a big, huge lie. So this is something that, whatever, remember the movie The Three Idiots was supposed to be based on him, and that's a complete lie, because this man is no great hero. Now, Congress MP, Shashi Tharoor has appealed to climate activist Sonam Wangchuk to end his indefinite hunger strike at Delhi's Jantar Mantar, saying the country still needs his voice and leadership. While expressing solidarity with the concerns raised by Wangchuk and the protesting students, Tharoor urged him to preserve his health and continue advocating for the cause through dialogue rather than risking his life. Now, in his message, Tharoor also called on the central government to begin meaningful discussions with the protesters. He argued that engagement and negotiation were the best to address concerns over alleged irregularities in competitive examinations and restore public confidence. Now, see, one thing is clear. See, as the hunger strike goes to day 18. They talk about his deteriorating health, but this guy is walking around, and also the people who are fasting with him have all put on weight. So this is quite a humorous situation that's happening. And veteran actress Zeenat Aman was among the first to extend her support. She shared a lengthy note calling him one of the greatest minds. I don't know what they know about, but of course, Bollywood doesn't use their brains is one thing for sure. Now, if they did their research, they would know that he has no patents to his name. Okay, so he's no great scientist. Okay, and so she says that he's one of the greatest minds, urging the government to immediately start a peaceful dialogue with him. We must not become a society that sits back and watches one of its greatest minds be sacrificed. Now, if you actually ask Zeenat Aman, what do you mean by greatest mind? If she could just elaborate, we will know that she doesn't know anything about it. Then you have Sonakshi Sinha, who also shared a video and wrote, "Ab dekha nahi ja raha, dil nahi maan raha, Wangchuk worlds, we cannot lose you." So then I would suggest that she give whatever she goes on these exotic holidays with her husband. Why doesn't she share some of her food? Because I think she can lose weight, and Wangchuk can put on a little bit more weight. So she should share all that rich food that she's having all over the world with Wangchuk and just making him a little healthier. Lina says he never did hunger strike for Kejriwal's corruption. Absolutely. So this is just another puppet they have put up. Now, Nasiruddin Shah and his wife were among the signatories who signed a joint statement supporting the protesters' demands while requesting Wangchuk to end his fast. Now, Nasiruddin Shah and Prakash Shah, I would put them on the same wavelength and the same kind of behavior. Both of them do not care about India or Indians. All the time, they are only protesting about how badly India is run and how they want to escape and they want to make India better. Doing nothing and caught in so many cases. Prakash Raj, as you saw, he was caught in a case as well. So these people are just either being paid, or they are, a part of the deeper, deep state. So, yes. So, moving on to Prakash Raj, he was also visiting Wangchuk at Jantar Mantar and addressed those participating in the protest. Three Idiots actor Omi Vaidya made an emotional appeal. I don't want Funsuk Wangdu to die, and later urged viewers to pay attention to his deteriorating health and support him. Now, Fatima's Sheikh took to Instagram to share photographs of Wangchuk expressing concern over his deteriorating health. And so you have all these people, including, let me get her name also, the one who just, got married, and let me just get her name. Yeah, Swara Bhaskar. Now, Swara Bhaskar and people like, all the other, actresses really are, have been prompted to support this man. So Aduna Kashyap also voiced his support for Sonam, sharing several photos of the activist. Kashyap also posted a long note on his Instagram story that read, "There was time when hunger strike had some meaning. People don't go on hunger strike just like that. It's really troubling when the system becomes so indifferent to people's lives. Only a man as empathetic and a believer of truth and justice has the courage to do that. I don't have the courage to do what he is doing, but the silence from powers to be is deafening to the point that it is proof of their guilt and their murderous intent. I stand with the brave heart that Sonam Wangchuk is." Soni Razdan, Alia Bhatt's mother, also joined the growing list of celebrities and requested him to end his strike by saying, "Dear Sonam, for your health, we will all pray. Please do not leave us in this way. Please live to fight another day. Please stay. Please end your fast." So now what's happening is all these people are very well fed. Or, the Bollywood brigade, they travel to the best places, they go by private jets, and they have the best of facilities. Now, when they, support Wangchuk, I don't know why, they don't give him some food and make sure that he lives if they really care. The problem is now Wangchuk is in a big mess because if he does what he professes, that is, if he's fasting, because I don't know a man who's entered this so many days of fasting, how he's walking. He's walking around very well, and there's absolutely no problem with him. So that means he's getting something into his body, and through some means, how they are. They'll not tell you from where they're getting the food or the fluid. So this man seems perfectly okay. I would say that if this man is so adamant to do a hunger strike, let him do it. Okay, and if he dies in the process, let him die. Because if they want the Minister of Education to resign, the question would be why? Because he has been very, very judicial in everything that he has done. And if they feel that someone should resign, it's not it's not their decision to make the minister resign. It is up to the Prime Minister and other people connected to it. So this is very, very, funny that the moment the Bollywood brigade, they only care about Hamas, they care about all the, things that do not even concern us. Okay, anything that happens to India or Hindus is never a part of what Bollywood thinks about. Nasiruddin Shah was saying that, see, why doesn't Modi ji wear a skull cap to show he respects Muslims? In which case, we can also ask him, can he chant the Gayatri Mantra to show that he is secular? Right? So, the question should be asked of them also. They're always talking about being secular. Then why the hell can't you say Hanuman Chalisa or Gayatri Mantra? You also say to show that you respect, Sanatana Dharma. It's all one-sided, And the first person to land there, is Alia Bhatt's mother. She doesn't have any job. Okay, she doesn't have any movies, and she's just lazing about. So for her, a visit to Wangchuk doesn't make much of a difference. He never did hunger strikes for Kejriwal's corruption, which is a very, very, very good point raised by Leena. So with this, we end this session. We'll see you tomorrow with a lot more news. Good night, Jai Hind, and Jai Shri Ram.